saying? Like, why? I'm gonna tell you no. I'm gonna tell you why I'm telling you no. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we just don't have time. We don't make the time for that. We like, just
But
no. Just do as I say. Don't.
do as I say and don't, yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
it.
that goes back to slavery too, because the slave masters taught us, you just do what I say.
Yeah.
So then our parents started teaching us based off of the slave master training. So it's like black people have never really gotten away from that programming. You know what I mean? So like they're just honestly the way that black people raise their kids, it is based off of slavery.
Okay.
Like the program is based off of slavery. How we eat is based off of slavery. How we discipline our kids is based off of slavery.
Yeah.
Everything is based off of slavery. Black people have never gotten away from the slave mentality. We are still in that slave mentality.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, like I didn't realize that like I was one of the few kids in my family to start going to desegregated schools. But when I started doing the research, I was one of those people. You know what I mean? I was one of the first people in my family. So it's like we have to realize we ain't that far away from slavery too. That's part of the issue.
Yeah.
That's why our people is where they are. We're not that far away from slavery. Like we're still only 200 years away from. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's still people in Louisiana who still live on the plantation, but they think they're free. But you're still living on the same land that your slave. No, you're not free. Like, oh well, this Uncle Buck, he's the grandson. He's cool with me. You're a slave.
Yeah.
Like we're not that far away from slavery.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Or do you have? Okay. Okay.
We're
Cool.
doing good. Yeah.
Do you think the single life?
And things like that. It's like they made it a lovey-dovey to be a strong black woman. I'm
She's
weak.
not supposed to be. She's not strong all the time. Like hell, I don't think men's supposed to be strong. That's gonna take that role of being a strong man. Like I don't expect my wife to have that role of being a strong black woman. People might look at her that way,
Yeah.
but for me, she don't have to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like she don't have to do that.
But you have to be a strong black man because you have to fit into the white man's world. Like we live in America where let's just be real, it's not fair to black people. So we have to be strong while they can be weak. Like everything they get is from being weak. Like
Yeah.
they're like, there's nothing really strong about them. Like let's be honest, we have to be overly strong because we still have to. We're basically slaves, just mentally slaves, like mental slaves.
But what does a strong come from? Is it strong minded? Like is it you having strength in the willpower? Because I find strength in willpower, not being able to smoke, not being able to do the things that come easy to me, not being able to cuss somebody out when they cut you off. To me, that's strength.
But you also have a relationship with like the creator, or however you say it, you know what I mean? So some people who are unconscious and they don't really have that deep relationship, they have to be mentally because if they don't, their brain would just cower to whatever happens and they wouldn't have nowhere to go. You know what I mean? So they feel that weakness within them
Yeah,
because they don't have nothing. So when you walk in that Caucasian job and you're not fully connected with the creator, somebody says something, now you have to pull the strength from you because you don't have enough, nothing outside of you that knows, even if I quit this job today, I'm going to be good.
yeah,
But if they don't have that, they're like, well, how am I going to pay my bills? They're like, their brain has all them other questions because they don't have that background foundation in the creator. I'll quit a job today. I don't care how. It's going to get paid. I ain't worried about it.
yeah,
But that's because I truly depend on God and I know for a fact it's going to work. Now, if you don't have that strong foundation, you don't know that for sure.
yeah.
So your brain's going to waver.
Okay, okay. But yeah, I think that single lifestyle is like destroying marriage because women
But
sometimes
it's
they're
only told
married
to
and
us. White women get married straight from college.
exactly.
It's only black households because they don't want strong black families. Like they don't want that. They don't want the black woman being at home and having because they're fearful of black men. So how do you hold down black men is by making the black woman strong. By telling her, oh, you don't need a man. You can go get that same job. You can go get that degree. Which is why I believe black men have it harder than black women. And I know they be hating on me when I say that, but y'all do. Let's just be real. Y'all do. Like, we can get anything. Now, are we disrespected? Yes. We're like, we still get our disrespect, but we have a little bit higher, more respect from Caucasian people because they don't want black men to be up there. So they put
I
us up
think
there.
I think our privilege is different, and our disadvantages are different. They don't look the same. You know what I'm saying?
Very so.
When people say that, it's like, yeah, I kind of agree with the point you're making, but it's like your privilege as a woman is gonna be different from my privilege as a man.
Yeah. See, I don't
My
know your
a
privileges.
white man privilege is gonna be different from a black man's privilege versus a white woman. Like it's all different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all have our privileges and our disadvantages at the same time. Like black men are overly sexualized by the whole world.
Yeah.
All the women want us but don't really want us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like black women are their privileges are to be held by black men. But then at the same time, when the black man gets a little money, he becomes a football player. He go to the white side. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the people that's around him. There's the people that's flocking and that kind of understand how to move the money in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, oh, that seems an easier path. And then they start saying, oh, the black women are difficult, which is like total bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the propaganda that they keep spreading. And it pains me to see that all the time. I'm like, man, you getting this, you know, you say it's because of looks and all of that, but it's just like, there's nothing more beautiful than a black woman than me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what nobody says. Like, there's just nothing more dark skin, the darkest of the dark, like the essence. I don't know. Like, it screams goddess to me. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
so that just it's a lot of propaganda. It's a lot of just programming, like we said. Like we come back to that programming thing. Like so now you're in the circles of these white people, these white women. Your agent might be white. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we have to break the doors down to be able to get into these rooms. And by the time we get there, they're all with these white women. So it's like,
Yeah.
but like you said, I don't really know what a black woman privilege is,
Yeah.
other than what I'm saying, her maybe saying, yeah, I could go to a bar and get some drinks and whatever.
Yeah.
Versus a black man.
A black woman privileges is if we caught a cop on a black man, he'll get arrested 2.45 seconds. We can do anything to a black man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. We can do anything. We can go get a job faster than a black man. We can get college degrees faster than a black man. Like all of the sustainable things that we need as a family, we can get, but the black man's gonna have to work 10 times harder.
yeah,
And if they don't get it, they get disrespected. But I'm like, well, y'all don't realize they did that on purpose so we won't have black families. So now you, as a black woman, think that you're better than him when you've only been put in that position because you're being used as a tool.
yeah,
Like you're not getting it because they really like you. They're doing it because they don't want him to have it and they want you to feel better than him.
yeah,
That's the only reason why.
yeah. It's very systematic to destroy the black family. Like
Yeah.
it's very strategic to do that, and they put a lot of things in place to be able to destroy black families.
And it's all mental. Like if we really think about it, nothing physical is really happening. It's all mental things. It's conversations. It's how you talk to each other. It's how you deal with each other. It's how you're viewing each other. It's how you feel about each other. As soon as a black man shows a little bit of emotions, black women don't like it. It's a
Yeah,
little bit too softer. It's like black men are not able to be human, but black women we have to be overly strong. So when you're programmed to be overly strong, you don't want to see no weakness out of your partner.
yeah,
Because I'm already being strong, so why are you being weak? Like, that's not fair. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's all the mental programming, which is like, we have to separate.
I agree with that. Yeah, I seen a video I think it was this morning. This girl said she wanted a man to open up to her, but the moment he opened up to her, and a few tears rolled down his face, she was like that. She just became so disinterested in him. I'm like,
Yeah. And
like
I understand. Like, I used to be like that, but now being conscious, it's like, okay, I understand why. Because our minds, people, if I'm being honest, as a black woman, our minds programmed, why is he being weak when I have to be strong?
yeah,
It's like disgusting to a black woman to see that because our brains have been programmed to be so rock hard. Like there is no softness because the moment you be soft, you get taken advantage of. You be disrespected. You know, people try to take advantage of you. So I understand it,
Yeah.
but sometimes we have to take that risk and just allow it because our black men have feelings too.
But I think black women miss the, and I'm not gonna say they don't have, they're not strong, but the strength in a black woman is to be able to nurture that king inside of a black man.
Yeah.
And black women have lost that. I'm gonna say they've lost that.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody, but a lot of them have lost that, being able to nurture the king inside of a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like they try to change a black man. Oh, I'm gonna change him, or maybe he might be too soft, but it's like they can't necessarily speak to the king inside of him. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife has done that for me several times,
Yeah.
where I might be feeling down. I might be like, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna get this contract. I don't know if I'm gonna do this. She be like, look at your track record. That's
Yeah.
all she has to say. Look at your track record. Look at all the stuff you've been through.
Yeah.
At the time, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about where I'm trying to go. I'm not thinking about what I done did before. But if she don't tell me, hey, reflect on what you did before, look at where you've come, look at how far you've came, it'd be like, man, you're right. I have done all these things. Like,
But so as a woman, you can't be in your head and have that softness. Like that comes from you being in alignment with your energy,
yeah,
being in alignment with your soul, which is you, but you have to be in alignment with you. But if you're sitting up here, your brain is going off of what has been programmed on how a man is supposed to act, how the man is supposed to go, which goes back to being unconscious. Like as a woman, you can't be in your head to be that type of woman. So meaning like you can't be at work all day because when you get home, you ain't got time for that because your brain's tired, your brain's irritated, your brain's frustrated. So you have to be able to have a soft life to be able to cater to that.
yeah,
Like even if you're working and you got a man, even if I go to work, I can still be soft because he creates an environment for me to be soft in where I can have that energy.
yeah,
So even though like I'm at work, I know I can quit at any moment because my man gonna take care of me. I'm only here by choice. That have that type of energy. But if you are a woman, you're taking care of all the kids and you're working, you're in your head 24/7. So when you get a man, it's coming from here and not here.
yeah.
That's the issue.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, I think too as men we have to do a better job of being able to create that space for each other. Like we both have to do better creating a space for each other to be able to get the things we need from each other. I think everybody is for self.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I hear people talk, I'm just like, based on what you're saying, you just for self. Like nothing based on the communities, nothing based on the families, nothing based on not even for your kids. I don't even think you care about your kids that much.
But that goes. But that goes back to the black women not raising their boys appropriately. Like I'm being honest, black women raise their daughters to be the man, and when they have boys, they make their boys think about self. Like I'll care to you, I'll do this. So when you grow up, he's like, no, you're supposed to do this for me.
Yeah,
So it goes back to how you parent as a black woman. Even if the man's not there, you are making a choice to be that single parent. So now it's your choice to raise your son appropriately. And if you're doing everything for him, and if you're making him feel like it's all about him, what do you think's gonna happen when he grows up?
yeah,
So it goes back to the parenting too. Like you can't expect him to grow up and be a stable man or a man that cares about women if his mama did everything for him. My baby, no, I'm not doing everything for you. You a grown man. Like you grown up into a man. I'm not gonna do that for you. Go figure it out. You're a little boy. Go figure it out.
yeah. That's a sad reality that we live in, where that dynamic is gone, and it's like, how do you get that back? You know, I guess it's one family at a time. You really got to take it one family at a time, and we see a lot of people doing the healing. We see a lot of people talking about therapy, mental illness now, and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, at the same length, you might see somebody talking about, healing. You have the Kashan rocks and the blue faces going crazy out there and spreading even more propaganda and more ways of people, that might be in the ghetto that might be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't act that way.
Yeah.
When they see that, they're like, oh, that's working for them. That's getting them money.
Yeah.
And everything in America to me is based off of money.
Yeah.
Everything. I don't care what. I don't care what
Yeah.
it is. Churches. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
It's based off of money. You can't go nowhere and it's not a dollar amount involved where it's like a transaction being involved.
See, part of the issue is that in America there's religion, but there's not spirituality. We need spirituality and not religion. Because religion teaches you how to live in alignment with your brain, but
Yeah.
spirituality teaches you how to be true to your energy, which is you and your soul. That's the difference. Like us as black people, we need to connect more with our spirituality, not with religion. To be honest, the church isn't teaching you nothing. It's just teaching you how to live within your brain, and then it's teaching your brain how to live within the rules and the regulations of the world when we are just spirits inside of bodies. Like everything that the Bible, like there's truth in the Bible. Yes, I know, but it's like the Bible was created for your brain, but you are not your brain.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So like you're separate from that.
I'm not a big, my mom probably hate this, but I'm not a big, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't really believe in the Bible a whole lot, just because a lot of the stories in there, if they were to happen today, a lot of those people would be called crazy. If somebody was like, I gotta kill my son, because Jesus told them, like, man, you need to go to the nut house. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Jesus came back today and was like, oh, I could do these miracles, they were like, you a magician. They'll find ways to clown those same people in the Bible. They'll be clowned today. They'll be ridiculed. They'll be stoned to death. They'll be shot. They'll be, you know what I'm saying? Like those
That's funny
things.
you said that. 'Cause I had a question about that. Like when people disrespect spiritual people and they call them witches and demons, but then you go to church, and I'm being honest, and y'all on the first Sunday y'all drinking wine as a symbol of you drinking somebody's blood. Y'all are throwing money on the pulpit for the preacher. It's all the same thing, just in different perspectives.
It's still a ritual.
It's
still
still
a ritual. But,
it's all the same thing.
But
it's just more acceptable
it's
because
more acceptable because it's widely available. You know what I'm saying?
what do you think prayer is? And when I'm meditating, it's the same thing.
Same thing,
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The only thing is I'm not help me, but I'm just sitting in the silence and letting it come without me. You know what I mean? Without me. So that's like people don't realize that everything they're taught is false. You know what I mean? Like it's just false.
I'll share this story. I grew up in the church. I grew up a Catholic. I was a altar boy. Grew up, watching the priest. The priest would be asleep on the altar, man. He'll give his little sermon and stuff, and then be at the head, and we, there watching him. One of us might be holding the cross, going up the altar. Like we all had our different roles, and we did at the time. I was a young boy. It was about your son's age. Like I did not take that serious at all. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we was drinking the wine. We was doing all the little mischievous stuff. Like there was structure, but not real structure. We just had access to behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you getting into all kinds of trouble, and being able to hide behind the mask of being, oh, I'm an altar boy, I'm a priest, or all that kind of stuff. Is like we would be joking. The priest is on nodding off.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, get up, joking, talking shit. Like that's what we did on the altar. We didn't take it that serious. Not till I got up here, where I kind of just distanced myself from all type of religion. Stopped going to church, and I got more spiritual over time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I grew up my family. So my grandfather was a preacher, raised in the church. That's all that I knew, raised in the church. But as you get older, you sit in the pews and you look like as soon as you walk out this church, you about to be smoking cigarettes. You about to be yelling, screaming at my granny. Y'all about to be going through y'all thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes your mind question. And as I look back as of my childhood, I was like, God has always made me look at things from a more spiritual perspective, because I always felt like I didn't need church. I could just talk to God any shape or form.
Yeah.
I could just sit there and say, hey, God, send me a sign. God send me a sign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So church is more about programming your brain to believe it. It's like a cult. People talk mess about all these cults. I don't know that boy's in prison now for creating a cult. I'm like, church is a cult.
Yeah.
if you try to desect or deprogram yourself from the church, it's like you're going against, like you feel like you're going to hell when you're not.
Yeah.
It's like the way that you feel when you're trying to step away from the church is like, oh, I'm evil. How are you evil when you're not doing nothing wrong?
Yeah.
It's a cult. Church
It
is a
is.
cult.
It
Church is a
is.
programming. These churches only care about money. How are you gonna only give me canned goods, but you are a millionaire?
Yeah.
Why can't I have a steak from the
Man, they say
pantry?
The Vatican is probably one of the, you know, most wealthiest places on the planet. Like, so, you know, they wanted to solve world hunger and all of that. They could do that. You know, a lot of the rich people could solve a lot of the problems, but you know, it's a lot of greed, man, and money was put here by man,
Mm-hmm.
just like the Bible was put here by man. Like, I just look at the Bible as stories that just telling you stuff you should believe in. It's like
But
the
that's
most
why.
famous book on the planet.
But that's why I really don't believe in having a lot of money because God didn't create it. So I really don't even care to have it as long as I have the things that's helping me stay stable, help me stay aware, I can take care of my kid. God is doing what I need. Anything extra is just to please my emotions. I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Like you have what you need, but your emotions want more because it wants to look a certain way, it wants to feel a certain way,
Yeah,
it wants to be perceived a certain way. So it's not like you don't have what you need. Some people are homeless because they did not have what they wanted to have, so they just let go of everything. But God was providing for you.
I sometimes I admire the homeless people, man.
They strong.
To be able to let go of that thing that just like that everybody, it's like they unplugged it.
It smells good, but that is
Man,
also a part of your brain wanting to look a certain way. I part of your
when you homeless, a lot of people ignore you anyway. So it's
exactly.
like
What's
people
the
act like they
point?
don't even see you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I don't even want
So
to go over
actually,
there
yeah,
because I know you look like you smell. So I'm not even gonna approach you. You know, in that sense.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a definitely for me. I think